Hey guys, welcome to this week's episode of the Outfitter Connection podcast. This week we have Gunny Gunnison from the Primal Outfitters. How's it going, brother?
Not too bad, sir. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. If you don't mind, man, kind of give us a brief overview of not only yourself but also the Primal Outfitters and what you guys do over there.
Awesome. Definitely. So I I joined the service right out of high school, Marine Corps. I was with Second Battalion, Seventh Marines Golf Company, the gunfighters. Um, Served from '09 to 2014. I struggled a lot after getting out of the Marine Corps with alcohol abuse and watching a lot of the guys I served with commit suicide and um, struggled with suicide myself. Had a suicide attempt in 2018, and just a lot of life circumstances that have brought me to where I am now. And coming with God, if you want to put it that way. But I realized I needed to make a change, and I had the ability to make that change. So I did, and I established the Primal Outfitters Inc. in 2022 as a 501c3 nonprofit that specifically caters to veterans and their families. We've since expanded slightly, so we're doing active duty veterans, first responders, and Gold and Blue Star families because we felt they deserved recognition for their role in our community and what makes America America. So with Primal, we take these ladies and gents out hunting, fishing, camping. Pretty much, if you can think of it outdoors, we try to tackle all of it. Um, you know, uh, if you somebody wants to go rock hunting on the beach, looking for beach glass or whatever, we take them to places and show them that, and um, we allow their family members and stuff like that to come with them too. So then it builds that family unit cohesion and allows them to build those cherishable memories and do things that they wouldn't normally one have the equipment to do and afford to do because all of our trips are done at no cost to them. So we do fundraisers and seek sponsors and donations, and we're working on a few grants right now as well.
Awesome, man. I love to hear that. There's there's multiple areas of therapy, and I think the outdoors for a lot of people is one of the best just because it's you're connecting with people that are a like-minded, b there's a mission and a goal, and c it's just there's a certain beauty and a certain peace that comes with being outside, whether you're hunting, fishing, camping, hiking, rock hunting, anything like that. What somebody wants to come on an event, what is your guys' vetting process?
So it's they can email us, phone call, Facebook Messenger has been, through our Facebook page has been huge. But yeah, they reach out. Anyone can reach out to us. Say it's a family member and their dad is a veteran and they want to get their dad out on one of these trips. They can reach out to us. We do ask for some sort of verification that they had served, or and it can be as simple as a picture of them in their uniform, because not all family members are going to have their dad's DD 214 and all that kind of stuff. But we're pretty. I mean, we're pretty relaxed when it comes to that sort of verification. As long as they can prove that there was some sort of service, or that they were either an active or retired firefighter, or first responder or law enforcement. Active duty is a pretty easy one. um, but just some sort of form of service, and we don't discriminate when it comes to how long they served, or where they served, or what their MOS was, or anything like that. We want all veterans, and we just generalize kind of the category of our clients as heroes. So we want all of our heroes to know that they're welcome to come out and enjoy and be a part of what we're doing. Um, and it's something that they all deserve. It's not something that, they shouldn't be ashamed. Well, I never deployed. I hear that all the time. This guy deserves it more than I do. We don't look at that. We don't want to hear that. We want to have these guys and gals come out, and be proud of what they did, and they deserve to be proud of what they did. They went where they were told to go, and they did what they were told to do. Some people's terms in service get cut short because of medical reasons, and that's understandable. They still sign that dotted line, and payable up to their life, and that needs to be respected. And so, we have kind of a loose, like I said, a loose vetting process. We do ask for some sort of verification. um, it's pretty simple, and once we do get that, like if say somebody sends a picture of our DD-214, I check the name on it. I make sure it's a legit DD-214 or whatever, and then it gets deleted. And then you're in our system, forever. You don't have to re-verify or anything like that. And then you're eligible to go on any of our trips. And there, you don't need anything. You don't need to. There's no there's no cost to it. The only two requirements we have is we have a release of liability form that, obviously it needs to be signed by anyone that's participating. Um, and that's just insurance, you know,
Yeah,
insurance reasons and stuff like that. And then have a valid hunting or fishing license. And if they need help getting that hunting or fishing license, we can get it online with them. We can, run up to a local, store that sells licenses. We'll help them do that if need be. But that's pretty much the only two, I mean, big requirements I would say is signing that release of liability and making sure that you're licensed to be able to, go out and do what we're doing.
absolutely. And you guys are based out of Michigan, correct?
Yes, sir. We're out of Southwest Michigan. The greater South Haven area, I guess would be the way to say it. That's where
Mhm.
our main boat is slipped in South Haven. So we have a 30-foot fishing boat. Um, we're wheelchair accessible. So guys and gals in wheelchairs, they can come on our boat. They can go salmon fishing with their family. Um, we do stuff across the state. There's a couple of bigger events. United Veterans of Michigan puts on Hooks and Heroes. We've been a part of that for the last couple years, and their team over there is absolutely awesome. They do a lot of similar stuff to what we do, but we go and volunteer for that event. We go to Vets with Nets with Chris Miller on, and them guys over there. They're awesome as well. We volunteer for that event, and then we do the big one in South Haven. We have the Salute to Veterans, where there's 50, 60 boats, and um, uh, about 100 and 120 some odd veterans that get to go out fishing. And then at noon we come back in, and there's a big plane fly over, and people are lining the pier with American flags, and we do a boat parade back in through the pier heads, and the Coast Guard's there, and the fire department with their big water cannon. And it's kind of an awesome event. It's really humbling. And there's a few of those events that actually happen along the coast, and we signed up for two more big ones, one in Ludington and one in Holland. So we have five big events that we're going to be doing on the water this year, two on the east side and three on the west side. So, but yeah, we do different types of hunting and stuff like that. There's a lot of great information on all of our different services on our website. And if it's not on our website, feel free to reach out to us and ask us if we do it. And if we don't do it, I'm willing to go out and learn with you. Let's go figure it out together. We might, nothing like a couple of veterans, getting together and trying to figure out how to rub two sticks together to figure, to get something done. But we'll go out and do it, and have it be a learning experience for not only us but for them too.
Absolutely, man. And it's awesome to hear that you guys are growing this into such a big organization where you can take you can join together with other groups and then take 120 veterans out on a fishing trip. What kind of started? Where did the Primal Outfitters kind of come from? Like what made you wake up one day and decide like I'm going to do this and I'm going to put my fellow service members in a position where we can all go do something together.
So, you know, it kind of, I guess, stemmed is I went to I went to Vets with Nets with a real close friend of mine and got to experience it and got to see it. And while all this was going on, I was still employable. I was working in an outdoor store. I had set up a youth veteran archery league where a veteran and a kid were shooting together. And that was really successful. And then, I went and did that event, Vets with Nets, and I really liked the idea of it. And then learning that there was groups and organizations out there that was doing, big scale stuff like this, and it was like, man, it'd be cool if somebody did this on a daily basis. And it was just kind of something in the back burner of my brain. And I never honestly, 2022, never thought I would be that person to do this on a daily basis. Um, had, had some life stuff going on and kind of having my fight with the VA. And um, I had quit the job at the outdoor store. Um, Quite a few different factors with that. Wasn't something that was an easy decision, but I thought it was the best for my mental health. And so I quit there and was hoping to get my grandfather, who was a Vietnam vet and a huge influencer in my life. He taught me how to hunt. He taught me how to fish. My grandpa was like my dad in a lot of ways. He taught me everything I knew about being a man and being outdoors, and that he's part of the reason why I joined the military in the first place. He was in the army and was drafted during Vietnam. So, growing up around him and cherishing and learning, from him and cherishing those memories, uh, I that's just it became a big part of who I was being out in nature and being one with nature and being in the outdoors. And going getting closer to the summer, I made the decision to want to get our family boat. My grandpa had bought a center console when I was very young, and I grew up fishing on that boat. And my grandpa's health wasn't the greatest, and so I wanted to make more of those memories with him, before the inevitable was going to happen. And I was talking with him about getting the boat set up and getting it out of storage and everything else, and was well on track of having that dream become a reality. And he unfortunately passed away before I had the opportunity to do that. And so I inherited the boat, um, and then it was inherited the boat, and then my disability went through and 100% with the VA. And so now I'm unemployable, and it's like, well, what am I going to do now? Like, I don't want to sit around and collect a paycheck every month. I don't want to, a lot of my disability is internal, within myself. I can walk around moderately fine, can't hear the greatest and stuff like that, but I can still do stuff. I can still do something. And so I just sitting around brainstorming. I was up at the American Legion and with a couple of other guys, and next thing I know, Primal Outfitters was started. Just kind of a dream turned into a reality. So we started operating with United Veterans of Michigan and working with them um, to be able to start getting the ball rolling with getting veterans out. And Pete and his team over there, they laid the groundwork for us to be able to start Primal. If it wasn't for Pete and his guidance and everything, we filed all of our 501c3 paperwork and all that stuff, and established it October 7th of 2022.
Awesome. Do you find that it's just as therapeutic for you to be helping other veterans, other other people with the same mindset as you to get them out in the woods and or out in the field on a boat? Do you feel that it's just as therapeutic for you to do that as it is for them?
Absolutely. You know, it's this organization has not only helped and been a part of a lot of other people's lives, but it's definitely saved my life too. You know, and that thought of like, what do I do now? You know, like veterans and people that have served our community and have given a life of service. Um, there's that feeling of purpose, of having a purpose, of having something, an everyday something. And so that it's given that to me. And and seeing the smile on some of these guys' faces, like we took out he was a law enforcement officer and a first responder for 20 years, and he was unfortunately hit by a drunk driver.
Mm.
And so he's paralyzed from the waist down. He's an amputee. Has a beautiful wife and and kids. And he thought he would never be able to get out on Lake Michigan and go fishing again. And that got communicated to us, and I got in touch with him and I was like, "Hey man, you're going fishing." He's like, "What?" I'm like, you're coming to South Haven. We're getting you on the boat, and you and your family, and we're gonna take you guys out, and you're gonna go fishing for salmon."
I love it.
And you know, they showed up and we got them in the boat, and was able to sit and conversate with him and put some nice fish on the boat that night. He got to watch his kids reel in fish. He got to bring in fish, and just seeing that twinkle in his eye, and that genuine smile, and that genuine laugh when slight little jokes are made here and there, that general camaraderie that um people like us have. It meshes, it clicks. And now that they have memories to last a lifetime. They have pictures of them together in a situation that one, they probably wouldn't ever be able to afford, and two, most charters and most businesses like that won't cater to somebody with the needs someone like that has.
Right.
And so just being able to be blessed to be able to give them that opportunity. We've grown so quickly with our equipment and our capabilities. It's mind blowing. I mean, we started with my grandpa's center console. Now we have a 30-foot boat. We have an enclosed trailer. We have 3 electric wheelchairs that are off-road wheelchairs. One of them's tracked. This thing will go anywhere. It's so it's just snowballing so quickly. There's days where it's just like I got to take a step back and take a deep breath, and it's like, man, this is, you know, I got to grow with these growing pains.
It's from the outside looking in, right? I I told you this last night, kind of whenever we talked on the phone. I've never served, never been in the military. I do have a lot of friends that have either served in the Marines, the Army, Navy, Air Force, Coast Guard, things like that. And like their number one complaint is always the VA and how it's a very bottlenecked, one track mind. Here's some medications. Here's a therapist that may or may not give a damn. And to offer something like Primal Outfitters, where it's not something that necessarily gets the current issues off their mind, but it puts them at ease, like knowing, hey, I'm out here with a fellow brother or sister that it's been through the similar journey that I have. It's offering um, just that peace of mind with the wheelchairs, the that kind of stuff. That's all been donated, or you guys have raised funds for those types of things, correct?
The majority of it, so like with the tracked wheelchairs, those have been donated. Well, the one tracked wheelchair, that one was donated. Edwardsburg American Legion donated us the 3 wheelchairs. That tracked unit alone is almost a $20,000 unit.
Hmm.
And so we were blessed with that. We raised the funds through fundraisers and sponsorships to be able to purchase the bigger boat. Um, Same thing like with the trailer. So it's a combination, I'd say, of the community recognizing what we're doing and what we're about and paying it forward in that aspect, and then us getting out there and busting out the elbow grease and getting work done, putting on fundraiser dinners up in our local American Legion. We're slated to do 3 dinners this season. We've already got, or this year we've already gotten 1 done. We did a pasty dinner that we did, um, 60 dinners. We were sold out of dinners before that dinner even started, because we did it by RSVP. So really good way to do that, and I think that's how we're going to handle the rest of our dinners, is by RSVP. But so we were sold out of dinners before we even started. We're working with another local company that prints our hats, Rosema Prints. um, great people. Him and his wife are awesome. They're kind of a smaller company, but they're making our hats, they're making our shirts, and that kind of stuff. So um, they made up quite a few baskets for us for like a silent auction type thing
Awesome.
for people, merchandise raffle. So we did a merchandise raffle, we did a 50-50 raffle, and then we also asked the American Legion, the Sons of the American Legion, and the Women's Auxiliary if they would match us up to $600 on what we brought in for food sales. And so we we obviously selling $12 a meal. We surpassed that $600 mark with just our food sales. And then with the 50-50 raffle and the merchandise raffle, we raised almost, we well over 3 grand
Wow.
on our funds, raised during that one event. And 100% of any of our donations or anything like that, none of my son, no one on the Primal staff is paid. We're all volunteers. So 100% of what we receive monetarily goes straight towards our mission, goes straight towards providing the equipment to be able to keep moving forward. Um,
Awesome.
Obviously there's other things that it pays for too, like our insurance and that kind of stuff, those given costs and stuff like that. But I mean, without that, we can't do our mission either. So, but 100% of everything that we have coming in goes towards making all of this possible.
That's awesome. You hear you hear about some 501(c)(3)s or 501(c)(3)s, sorry, that 4 or 5% goes into the company. The rest gets dispersed between the CEO and the chair and the board and all that. It's refreshing to hear that your guys' stuff all comes back into the company, but also goes right back to the community, funding events, funding different things that you guys are doing. What are some this episode will air in June? What are some things that you guys have coming up in July, August, September? Some events that if somebody's listening to this, they can get plugged in and get on one of these events with you guys.
So, we operate on a daily basis. So we're like any other guide service or anything like that.
Okay.
They can book individual event, book their own individual trip. So there are some bigger events coming up. We will be at the April 27th. We'll be at Hooks and Heroes. Unfortunately, I think that'll be, you know, after, or this will be aired after that that's occurring. But there's a you know there's a few events along the lake shore during that time. The Operation Injured Soldier Salute to Veterans will be a part of that event, and that takes place in South Haven. You have to register with Operation Injured Soldier to be a part of that event, and I believe you have to be 30% disabled or higher. Um, that's something that, you know, I really love what they're doing, and I'm not really trying to say anything towards them, but it's not something I necessarily agree with, you know, because getting a disability percentage rating is not easy, even for people that deserve it. So that is going to be taking place in the middle of August. But other than that, I mean, these ladies and gents can just get a hold of us, and we can book. We'll book the individual trip based upon our availability. And so during that time frame, we do a lot on the water. I mean, I'm spending more time, on my boat than I am on land during that time of the year. So, we roll with the seasons. So, given where we're at in Michigan, being on Lake Michigan, uh, that's our fishing season. So we'll do other things too. If somebody, in the morning they want to go fishing, and then, in the afternoon they want to go look for beach class or whatever, we'll do that. We can package stuff up like that. Each trip is customized to that person, to what that person's needs and wants and goal out of the trip is. So, if they want to go fishing in the evening, we can go fishing in the evening, and then when we get done, we can go look for Uper lights on the beach. We got the special UV lights to look for Uper lights. There's quite a few beaches along our coast here that actually have some really nice rocks and stuff like that for us to go look for. They want to go on a nature hike, we can do that. It's pretty much what they want to do. Obviously, if they want to go deer hunting in the middle of June, that's not happening. We got to wait for deer season for that. But so as deer season comes around, we'll be deer hunting. We camp all year round, so winter camping is huge. I love winter camping, no bugs and no people.
Hmm.
So my favorite time to camp, but so we do camping all year round. We do nature hikes and different stuff like that all year round. Um, I've taken a few botany classes um, with a couple of different colleges. So if people want to go out and learn about different types of plants, we can go learn about different types of plants and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, you just we got to think about the seasons. If people want to go ice fishing during, winter months, we can go ice fishing. If people want to go trapping, I set up trap lines, and I can show them how to set traps, and then we can go check traps I already have set. If they want to go turkey hunting, we can set them up turkey hunting, spring and fall turkey hunting. If they want to go bow fishing, one of our pro staff, Kevin, he has a bow fishing boat and all the stuff to go bow fishing. So we can
That's
go
awesome.
bow fishing. We can go duck hunting. We can go goose hunting. We can go upland bird hunting. If people want to learn how to fish off the pier, we can take them to go learn and fish off the pier. Uh, and if they want to go pound on some bluegill on some inland lakes, we can go do that. It's pretty much what they would like to do. Um, we just we're a resource to make it happen. So
Absolutely, man.
whatever their outdoor desire is, like I said, if it's not on our list of stuff to do it, we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
I'm happy to learn it with them.
If you need a connection for some Texas exotics, I'll shoot you over a ranch phone number. They're probably one of the most inexpensive ranches in Texas to go hunt on. So if you've got a vet that would like to do that, I'd love to be a part of that as well and help where I can.
Awesome, I really appreciate that.
Absolutely. They've got Axis, Blackbuck, Fallow, Scimitar, you know, basically all your Texas exotics and stuff like that. And it's a lot of fun.
I'm definitely, if we get one of those trips booked, I'm gonna have to tag along.
Yeah, come on. Come on. We can, at that particular ranch, we can host up to six is ideal, but we can host up to eight people.
Roger that. Roger that. Yeah, that's you know, I like to enjoy, certain things too, I
Hmm.
I do a lot of helping other people out. So every once in a while, if I can jump in on the fun with them, I like to take advantage of it. Not all the time, but just, every once in a while.
Yeah.
It's nice to be able to enjoy things too. So, like I said, I might have to tag along on that one. So,
Yes, sir. Do you, with the Primal Outfitters, do you get people from every branch, or do you guys kind of see more from, the Marines, or more from the Air Force, more from the Navy, more from the Army in, or is it just kind of all encompassing and you get people from all of them?
we get people from all branches. We've had firefighters. We had the fire chief. Um, he was a fire chief for one of the stations that responded to the plane going in the Hudson.
Oh wow.
We've had Medal of Honor recipient Jim McLuhan out on our boat. We've had people from all different walks of life. And then they've came from across the country at this point. We've had guys. Um, we had the guys that run Hero Stock come out and check us out. Um, they're from Nebraska. We've had guys come from Arizona. I mean, we've had, you know, people from all walks of life. Um, different things after they got out of the service or, that kind of stuff. So we've seen a wide variety of different people come out and experience what we have to offer.
Awesome, man. Um, when have you ever hosted, or have you ever had an event where, like, while you were serving overseas, you ran into somebody that was in that same area, or somebody that you really related to, that you may not have realized, like, oh snap, this guy's just signed up for our event and we were over there completing a mission together.
Yeah. So uh Kevin, actually, one of my pro staff, like we our path, it's crazy when you get to start talking with these guys about their stories and stuff like that, and gals, of how close some of us were. I mean, we probably walked past each other at some point in time. He's one of my good friends now, Alex. You know, after sitting and talking with him for a while, and it's like, man, we were in the same place, same time. And it's crazy, like, and then, oh, well, you do you remember this, like this place and this base, or this place, here, and oh yeah, I remember that. And it's really cool how close, feels like we're 1,000 miles away,
Hmm.
during that time and in that moment. But going back and remembering, these different things and different places and stuff like that, and then finding out, the person that you're talking to now is they were there, and you might not have known them then, but they were in the same place you were, and your paths are finally crossing. So it's been there's been quite a few of those, actually.
Sure.
It's kind of crazy. And then, like, we brought a few guys out. They were Army, and then, they knew they were, oh, I'm an Army veteran, you're an Army veteran, we're friends. Well, it was on our boat when they realized that wait a minute, you were my instructor. Like, like the light bulb finally, them being on our boat and having that, camaraderie and having those conversations that, they just never had before. The light bulbs start turning on and the switches, the gears connect, and like, man, like, we were in the same unit. Like, it's mind blowing. Like I said, during that time you feel like you're 1,000 miles away. Then, once you get back and you start talking with, more people, and being around more like-minded people and more veterans, you find out that you weren't that far away in the first
that's,
place.
that's awesome. You're reconnecting experiences and friendships.
Exactly.
I
And
love
it's
it, man.
fun. And man, I tell you one thing, it's fun when you get a group of, like, different service branches together. So, like, I'm a Marine Corps veteran. Having a Navy veteran, an Army veteran, and an Air Force veteran all on the same boat together, and the jokes that are going, because we're picking on each other. What I mean? It's
Oh
no
yeah.
one's safe at that point. So we're picking on each other, we pick on each other, we razz each other, and it's nothing's out of, ill will or anything like that. It's just us having fun. And then when they have family members with them too, and they see us, you know, going back and forth and seeing something out of their significant, their family member, or, that significant person in their life, that they've never seen before. They've never seen, that smile of, poking back and forth, and, it gives them a different aspect on their loved one. Um, and it's a really humbling experience seeing that, and then seeing, the kind of the twinkle in their family member's eye, of them being able to sit back and watch, this excuse my language, but kind of jackassery take place of us poking at each other. And you got the Marine Corps jokes, and you got the Navy jokes, and the Air Force and the Army. We all have our own jokes and little low blows that we can say to each other. But it's somebody tries to pick on us, then that's when we all form together, like like it. So, but yeah, I mean, I had a couple of Army guys come out, and after we got done fishing, they're like, "Yeah, we got you a present." I'm like, "Oh, cool," like, what? My mind's turning on what in the hell did these guys get me, and here they come with a box of edible crayons, because Marines are crayon eaters. So I got the picture of it, me all smiling with this box of edible crayon candy and whatnot. So it's all fun. And the level of camaraderie that is gained, through these trips and stuff like that is just, it's second to none. And it kind of, it re-energizes, it's rejuvenating. See, I took spelling for Marines. um so it's rejuvenating in an aspect, and just gives a spark of life back, and each trip is different. And you know uh, it's been younger veterans like myself, and then I've taken, older veterans where, you know uh the guy was a veteran, and the son was a veteran, and the son wanted to take his dad out. And I'm not naive when I can, I see, that's, the dad's old, or the grandpa's old. And, you know, and having, kind of a side conversation with, with the son and with the daughter and stuff like that. It's like, yeah, I think this is the last time that dad's going to be able to go fishing, and so to be able to provide those memories that, they'll be able to, remember their dad or their grandpa, and be able to get out and do that with them, if it's the last time, that hits my heart, to be able to do that for people, and to give them an opportunity that I missed out on with my grandpa. I missed that last time with my grandpa, and I'd do anything to be able to have that time, and to have that memory again, of fishing with them. So to be able to provide that for other people is just, I words can't express it.
Yeah. That's I don't have many regrets in life, and that's one of my biggest regrets is my grandpa did serve on my mom's side. He served in the military. Um, and I wish every day that goes by, I just wish I could have had that one more conversation or that one more experience in the outdoors with him, or um, heard one more of his stories, because all of his stories had a life lesson with it. And it's just I wish at the time, cell phones were more prevalent, or I would have spent more time over there with like even a voice recorder, and just recorded one or all of those conversations. But at the time, you think that your grandparents are going to be around for long enough to see you grow up and succeed, and unfortunately, a lot of times it's not the case. And it's with that older generation, there are history lessons that will be lost when the last one finally does pass. The final veteran in that age gap finally passes. We're going to lose a whole line of oral history.
I I couldn't say it any better myself. When it comes to what you just said, you're absolutely right. And those moments and stuff like that, and learning from where from my own life experiences now, and those moments need to be cherished.
Absolutely. And it's, you read the history books, right? The history books give a 30,000 foot overview of battles and sieges and things like that. But to hear a first person's perspective on the ground of like, man, this is what this looked like. It's unfortunate that um, more veterans in that time frame didn't write books about it, even though they never really talked about it. Just as veterans that have served in Iraq and Afghanistan, they don't talk a whole lot about what the outer what the outer world, right? They don't talk about a whole lot of the details, but that older generation, we're losing a lot of firsthand experience.
I completely agree.
What we hit on some of the events that are coming up. What's one of the things that you guys, an event that you did that you were like, man, this was it for me. This was like, this is why I'm put on this planet. I served in the Marine Corps. I came home. We're doing this, and something happened on an event that you're like, this is why I did this. This was the core reason, and it accomplished everything you wanted it to.
So, are you at like a bigger event or just an individual trip?
Just that one event that clicked for you, that like, this is my purpose. This is what I've needed.
Honestly, probably that first Vets with Nets trip that I went on. Seeing all the veterans there and stuff like that, and seeing how that was organized and how that was put on. I'd never been to anything like it in my, at all. And to go and to be kind of dragged to that event. Yeah, I'm not big on, large crowds and
Mhm.
all that kind of stuff. So to, like, hey, you're going with me to this. Like, fine. You know what I mean? I'll go. And then, once getting there, like, and this was before Primal was even started, once getting there and once experiencing it and once seeing all these people come together for veterans and seeing all the different sponsors and seeing all the veterans interact together at that big event. It was, you know that that was one that, lit the fire, really kind of kindled all of this,
It's awesome.
is in seeing and experiencing it. And then, I took my own take on it of, why do just one big event when I can do it every day
Yeah,
and serve, and serve the individual and and most importantly their family. Letting the family come along on these trips and on these experiences, I think, has been a crucial part, um, to why we've been so successful.
that's awesome, man. Do you feel, with allowing the family members and stuff to attend these events, do you feel that it opens the door a little bit for them as well, as to how to better understand their veteran? Because I don't know, you guys have gone through so much, right? You guys have seen in my opinion, the absolute worst in humanity, and it gets really hard to talk about, and it's a struggle. But do you feel that with your guys' events and allowing their family members, it helps kind of bridge that gap between what they don't want to talk about and what their other ways that their family members can help them?
Absolutely. I, I I 100% believe that, and it creates that, family unit cohesion. It gives them, almost a level playing field where they get to experience, you know, that hero in their life in a different way that they've never been able to experience them before.
Mhm.
Um, you know, with my background and stuff like that, I'm kind of able to bring out the veteran part of them and have that brought out in front of their family in a way that's comfortable. It's not like I'm ripping it out of them or anything like that, but I'm able to get them to to interact with me and my staff. We're able to get them to interact in a way that they normally would not interact in front of their family, and kind of bring that out of them, and make it like, oh, it is okay. They can see this side of me. They can they're going to love me no matter what. They can accept these things, and they can see these things about me. I don't need to be completely stonewalled about everything, and I can open up. So I definitely do feel like it bridges that gap, and it gives the family and the veteran, an opportunity to see each other in a different light. Um, and to be a part of, being out in nature, and being a part of, something bigger than themselves in that aspect too.
Absolutely. And that's the fun thing about being a guide and an outfitter is not only are we that, but we're also a counselor. We're also a buddy. We're also a motivator. We try to we listen to their issues and give our perspective. With what I do, I guide out in the mountains of West Texas, and I'm not going to harp on that because I think I've harped on it every episode. But you spend a week out in the mountains with somebody, and you learn like their marital problems, the problems with their kids. You learn all these different things, and then you help them work through it. And that's just another avenue for somebody like yourself and the other veterans that you bring out on events. You're helping them kind of like, hey, man, I went through this same thing or something very similar, and this is how I'm working through it. Why don't you give this a try?
Yeah, no, and that happens a lot, and I like the way you said that too. Is I'm not, just a guide. I'm not just, the guy taking them fishing or taking them out. I'm a counselor too. And I like I never really, I guess, thought about it in that aspect, or anything like that. Just being me, and I never kind of that never really clicked with me that I was doing those things, until, talking with you about it. I guess I have realized it, but just never, you know, put it completely together that that's actually, what I was doing. Um, basically doing it without realizing I was even doing it.
Yeah, man. What this has to build a sense of pride within yourself, right? To be helping your own veteran community. What is that like? The sense of pride that you get, is it just from the very beginning? You're like, man, this is I'm doing exactly what I'm called to do, or is it like I'm building these friendships and these bonds, and these guys are going to become like great friends after this event?
So I mean, like like I said, it's a very humbling experience, and the sense of the sense that I get from all of this, and just the different experiences that I've had from doing all this, is I I think that this is what I was going to be doing? No, but now that I'm doing it, like, I don't think I could be doing anything else.
Yeah,
Like, this is I feel 100%, committed to this, and being 100% successful in it. And you know, I I'm not trying to, I don't want any sort of, and it's happened, but I'm not doing this for a chip on my shoulder.
right.
I'm not doing this for, another, patch on my hat or whatever, however you want to say it. And I've been recognized by the community, you know, inadvertently. Like I said, I'm just doing me, I'm doing what I love, and what I'm passionate about. Like this last year, I was told, hey, you need to be, by my staff was like, hey, we need you down at the boat. Like, oh great, what the hell happened now? Like, what do I gotta what do I gotta do now? And they're like, no, wear your nice shirt that's embroidered with your name and the company name and stuff on it. I'm like, what the hell is going on? It's like I get down there and they got a few, few close, people down there to me and, a few of my staff down there. I'm like, what are you guys, what's up? I know something's up. Wasn't born yesterday. And then next thing I know, I got a camera crew and mics and stuff like that. And everything's stepping out of my boat. And I'm like, oh, dang it. You guys got me,
Yeah,
and ended up being, Paul Landecker and, his radio crew and stuff like that, and they did an interview with me and presented me with Veteran of the Month.
that's awesome.
And it's I'm not doing it, and that it's nice, and it got me in my feelers when that happened and stuff like that. And I've gotten a few, nominated for a few other things, and it's not why I'm doing this though. Like I I don't need I don't need another feather in my hat, or I don't need it. I don't I'm not out trying to chase, recognition from the community. And, like when, we brought out uh, Jim McLuhan, you know, no one knew we were doing that. You know, I, he has the camera shoved in his face all the time being a Medal of Honor recipient, and he goes to all these events and has to do all this public speaking and everything else. And it's like, no, that's not what, this isn't a publicity stunt for us.
Right.
This is an opportunity to give him a break, an opportunity to have him and, a few of his battle buddies and their wives, get away from the everyday norm where he's going out in front of crowds of people and talking about what he did to get the Medal of Honor and stuff like that. It gives him a chance to be human again,
Yeah.
and so, and I guess kind of rambling a little bit, but I guess that's, I'm we all put our pants on the same way.
Yes, sir.
One leg at a time. And, I'm very humbled to be able to, have the opportunity to do what I'm doing on a daily basis. I just, I'm blessed, to have the resources and to keep being able to move forward. 10 years ago, I was a fifth deep in whiskey every day. I was struggling, and, it came a long ways from here to now. But I was that veteran that, I was almost a statistic. I was almost one of the 22 a day. I was almost that guy. And, here I am now.
Here you are, 6 feet over.
Exactly.
I'm
Well,
uh,
five
I'm
nine, but pretty close.
yeah, we're the same height. I'm very glad you're still here, man. It is an unfortunate statistic. It is one that there's a lot of people doing things to help curb it, and I wish there was more. You know, you guys go through so much, and then you get home, and it's like not necessarily that the backs are turned on you guys, but it's your resources for help are very limited.
Yeah, and I do agree with that. I've lost 49 guys that I served with to suicide.
Jeez, oh Pete.
Um, there's a uh, there's a documentary actually on our unit specifically called The Forgotten Battalion. And it's it's an eye opener. And, you know our lack of really talking about certain things and stuff as veterans, our lack of talking about certain things, and, you know to a lot of our family members, we are just gone.
Mhm.
Like, would they don't really know what it was, or they knew where we were,
Right.
but they don't realize what the everyday of, you know certain places were,
Right.
and so there's, I guess, a slight lack of understanding when it comes to certain things.
Yeah.
Um, it wasn't, a day out in the park.
Right.
You know, it was a lot more than that. And I guess a lot of us, we have that sense of pride where we don't talk about it. And, that's, kind of, and on our trips and stuff like that and whatnot, it's not meant for them to sit there and open up the whole book,
Right.
but, that it gives them an opportunity to, tap back into that and to, you know, show their family a little bit of that part of them.
Hmm. Yeah, it's I can imagine uh, it's a block of memory that you it's something that you were so ingrained in, but at the same time you wish you could just wipe that slate almost completely out, where the memories and the things that kind of flip that switch, you almost wish you never had to experience that.
Um, I mean, yes and no. I mean, if somebody asked me right now, I mean, if I had an opportunity to do it all over again, I'd I'd do it all over again without question.
Hmm.
Even given the experiences that I've had since I've been out and the struggles that I've had, maybe I'd handle it a little bit differently and maybe I'd handle it worse, maybe I'd handle it better. But that it, if I, like I said, if I had an opportunity to, to do it all over again and enlist and do the same job that I did and everything, I wouldn't change that part about me. Um,
Gotcha.
I would do it in a heartbeat. And I know quite a few of the guys that I serve with, they'd probably say the same thing. You know, I'd you know, I don't miss the hardships and
Hmm.
stuff like that, and I don't miss certain aspects, but I miss my brothers. I
Sure.
miss that camaraderie. I miss that, sense of purpose. But yeah, I'd without question, I'd from square one. I'd start over and do it all over again the same.
Got you, man. It's like I said, I'm very glad you're still here. I'm very glad that you're doing what you're doing, and that you've made that progression from damn near being a statistic to helping your fellow veteran community out. I think it's important to what you do, and you're definitely making a difference in that community.
So if what we do saves one veteran or saves one first responder, or one active duty service member, if we save one person throughout all of this, I mean, it could be years or whatever, however long, I plan on this organization to be alive longer than me. But
Hmm.
if we just save one person from taking that step, then our mission's accomplished. And I can't say if we have or haven't, but we're gonna keep going every day. Like even if I guess I knew we have, then it still is not gonna change the level of motivation we have.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna treat every day like we haven't. But the goal is just to save one guy, save one guy, one gal, from becoming that unfortunate statistic and to not take that next step, and thinking that life is completely over
Right.
and that, there is something to do tomorrow. There's something to look forward to.
It's awesome, man. We're coming up just on the hour mark here. If you want, man, plug in where people can find you guys, either to donate to the cause, to recommend a veteran. You know, if they've got a family member that served that they feel that this would be a great fit, where people can follow along with your guys' journey and how to get a hold of you.
Absolutely. So our Facebook page on, unfortunately, social media is huge. But our Facebook page is, simply the Primal Outfitters Inc. Um, you can check out our website, theprimaloutfitters.org. Um, my the company phone number is 269-767-4796. That is a 24-hour number. People can call anytime. Um, Especially, even if they just need somebody to talk to for a little while.
Hmm.
You know, they don't have to be booking a trip, but that's it's the company number and it's also my personal number. So anybody can call that anytime, any day. Um, if I don't answer, I'm gonna be calling you right back. Like I'm pretty sure I had a phone call while we were sitting here doing this, but I will call that person back immediately. Um, and then yeah, there's ways to couple different ways you can donate. We do have the donate button on our Facebook page. We do have a donate link on our website. We also have like Cash App, Venmo. Um, what's the other one? PayPal. So those are different ways to, or reach out and contact us if none of those ways work for you and stuff like that. Um, feel free to reach out and contact us. Feel free to reach out and contact us about trips. um, Facebook Messenger, my phone. You can text that number too. Um, the Our email is on all of our different sources with the web page, the Facebook page. Our email's on that. You can email us. Um, we're always looking for sponsors as well. We have real estate on the side of the enclosed trailer. We have real estate on the side of the boat. The enclosed trailer goes around the state, major highways, stuff like that. So it's good exposure, for different businesses if, they would like to have their business associated with a veteran organization like this. Our boat goes in and out of the harbor, twice to three times a day. And there's, thousands of people, along the pier and town, stuff like that. So we go in and out. People see the boat with the Primal Outfitters logo on the side of it. They see, all these other companies and stuff on it. So that's something we're always looking for. And it doesn't have to be a sponsorship necessarily, doesn't have to be like a monetary sponsor. There's quite a few sponsors that we have. We use their services like Onyx Hunt. All of my staff, we have premium, elite, whatever you want to call it, Onyx on our phones for the different stuff we do out in nature. Fishhawk donated a brand new Fishhawk system for our Great Lakes boat. We're working with Garmin right now on a few different things. We have different lure sponsors where they donate us lures. Hangry brand is one of them. So we're working on getting some bigger name sponsors, and people are starting to notice what we're doing, and they want to be a part of it, or at least be associated with it. So,
It's awesome.
but yeah, we urge all and any veteran, all in any active duty, all in any first responders, either active or retired first responders, and that's your EMT nurses, doctors, people that, like I'm talking about the having the emergency room, emergency room doctors, emergency room nurses, EMTs, first responders, firefighters, law enforcement. They Without them in our community, without them sacrificing and doing what they're doing, we wouldn't have what we have. So, and then the gold and blue star families, you know, don't hesitate. If you need to get away and if you want to connect with your family or whatever, don't hesitate to get a hold of us. Um, and don't feel like you don't deserve it because you do.
Absolutely. It's awesome, man. What real quick before we go, I try to end every episode with a piece of advice from the guest. It can either be advice towards veterans, uh, outdoor advice, hunting advice, just your one solid piece of advice that you think everybody should know.
Do not forget to live while you're trying to survive.
Damn, that's good. That's solid, man. Well, Gunny,
So
I appreciate you coming on, brother, and
I
I look forward to following along with your guys' mission, and seeing you guys really grow because I think you were right on that edge from going where you are and then just expanding full tilt from there.
I really appreciate that and look forward to seeing you guys. Hopefully get a chance to bump into you, Hooks and Heroes or one of those other events on the east side of the state. And if you ever want to come out and you know tag along on one of our trips and stuff like that and experience what we're doing, you're always welcome. You
Awesome,
know,
man.
the boat's not always full, and I can plug you in as one of the crew.
Yeah,
So get you on one of the trips and stuff like that, and come out and experience it, man. And that's I've talked with a few people and stuff like that, and it's one of the best things I can tell them is just come out and experience it.
yeah,
You don't have to be a veteran, or you don't have to be one of our heroes to come out and experience it. Just you're more than welcome to tag along on one of the trips and you know see
donate some time.
exactly, yeah, see exactly what's going on, and
Yeah,
experience it for yourself. Because I can go blue in the face about talking about it, but until it's actually you're right there and you see it, then it it kind of resonates. It kind of you know it clicks like holy crap. So
absolutely,
well,
man.
I really appreciate you giving me the time and having this conversation with me and letting me be on your podcast. It's a true honor, and I look forward to a future and a relationship and getting to know you better.
Absolutely, man. That goes the other way as well. Um, I really appreciate what you guys do, and I think you as well as all of our veteran listeners. I thank you guys for your service and what you guys have done for this country because without you guys and the other generations of veterans, unfortunately, we wouldn't have this ability to do these types of things.
Yeah. Thank you, sir.
Absolutely. We'll we'll talk to you soon, and I wish you guys the best.
You too.
Thank you.